Here's a simple truth. You will face trials. You will face temptations. You will encounter suffering and betrayal and injustice, and maybe even times of depression. The question is this: how are you going to handle those challenges? It all depends on your character and your relationship with Christ. Are you depending on your good looks, your raw talent, your connections? Those things can all disappear. Trust me. We've seen it over and over. We ministered in New York and also here in Los Angeles. Those things can disappear. Are you thinking God's just going to bless you because you feel called to go into the arts? Please hear me clearly. Just because you're called to something never means that you won't suffer, struggle, or face difficulty along the way. Go back and read your Bible. Look at Noah. Everyone mocked him. Why are you building an ark? It's ridiculous. Look at Moses, 40 years in the desert. Look at Esther. What a risk for her life to do what she needed to do. And even Job in the Old Testament. You can't beat that. Suffering in the middle of what God's calling him to do. Or consider the life in the New Testament of Paul. It went from persecuting the church to being persecuted, to being beaten up, thrown in jail, suffering, called all kinds of things. And why? Was it because he wasn't doing what God called him to do? No, it was precisely because he did what God called him to do. Peter also suffered and was a martyr, and especially the number one example is Jesus himself. He did everything right, was a righteous man, and of course, they killed him for it. So to look at the Bible and think, if I do what God calls me to, I'm not going to suffer, is a failure to really pay attention to what God's people go through, even when they're following Christ and following God's calling upon their life.